Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Complete Sets. Today we're going to be looking at a set that is rather small. It is the Bul-Kathos Children. Bul-Kathos Children is made up of two pieces, the Bul-Kathos Tribal Guardian Mythical Sword, and the Bul-Kathos Sacred Charge Colossus Blade. Now, one of the unique things about this set is that it is only equipable by barbarians. Of course, you can equip one piece of this set, or the other piece of this set, but you cannot equip both pieces of this set, and you cannot get the full bonuses unless you are a barbarian. So this one is pointed directly at barbarians. Very interesting. So first off, let's go over the one-handed sword, the mythical sword. This sword is 120 to 150 damage. Very fast attack speed, 20% increased attack speed, 200% enhanced damage, 50 poison damage over 2 seconds, 20 to strength, and fire resist 50%, and none of those stats vary. The Bul-Kathos Sacred Charge Colossus Blade is one-handed damage 75 to 195, two-handed damage 174 to 345, very fast attack speed. It has quite a high strength requirement with 189, and quite a high dexterity requirement of 110. The mythical sword also has 124 dex and 147 strength, so you're going to be needing some strength and dex to wield this equipment. It has a level 63 requirement on the Colossus Blade, 20% increased attack speed, 200% enhanced damage, 35% chance of crushing blow, knockback, which is poor, all resistance is 20, and of course you can socket both of these. Now I'd like to talk for just a second on the knockback effect here, and I feel like it's important, because the knockback effect ruins what is generally a very good set. Knockback is not something that is generally sought after on a melee class. You don't go around looking for knockback as an effect on your equipment when you are like a whirlwind barbarian or like a berserk barbarian or something like that. You're generally not trying to knock the monster away, because when the monster is knocked away from you, your damage decreases. So as a melee character, knockback is generally not sought after. Now, as a ranged character, knockback actually is kind of sought after because it keeps the monster away from you, as you can attack them at range. So knocking the monster back doesn't necessarily cause you any problems, but on a melee character it does. And I think for that reason alone, Bul-Kathos Children, it tends to be looked at rather poorly, just simply because of that knockback effect. Wish there was a way you could take that off of there. Alright, and then we have to look at the set bonus as a whole. So right off the bat here, we have +2 to all skills, which is very nice, but hardly that amazing, considering you're giving up 2 slots for it. 2 slots which you could theoretically get +5 to all skills with, because you can get a, I believe, a +3 weapon, and then you can get a +2 shield. So, if you had particularly wanted a barbarian to use a shield and a sword, and perhaps you're going for +2 to skills for some particular reason, you could get +5. So all I'm saying here is that +2 is not really the greatest, since you're giving up 2 slots for it. It also has +200 to attack rating, which is nice, +200% damage to demons, and +200% damage to undead. So very PVM stats there. Of course, that's going to help you out a lot versus undead and demons. +20 to fire damage, and 25 to defense. All in all, I'm not really sure that this set is the greatest for a barbarian. The knockback on the sword isn't the greatest. I mean, it does have crushing blow and all resistances, which is nice, and both swords are of a nice, very fast attack speed. And if we take a look at our stat panel here, we do have fairly nice resistances from the 2 pieces. So we have 70 fire resist, 20 cold, 20 lightning, and 20 poison. And I'm fairly certain I don't have any points in masteries. Yes, okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have the all resistances mastery. So kind of an interesting bonus to stats there. I mean, you got 70 fire, 20 cold, 20 lightning, 20 poison, and it's only for 2 pieces. I mean, you still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other pieces of equipment to get resistances from, plus charms. So that's actually quite a lot for 2 pieces. If it didn't have that knockback on there, I feel like it would be a much better set in general. But it does have the knockback, and that is going to affect people's decisions on wearing it. It also has a very pretty like blue sort of greenish glow to the weapons, as you can see here. See, that's a nice angle. So very, very interesting coloration on the weapons. And in Diablo II Resurrected, I'm sure they're going to be very pretty. You know, each one of these swords could be used by itself. So, I mean, this one does have Crushing Blow. So I guess if you were a character that wanted Crushing Blow on a nice two-handed weapon, I mean, you could go for that. But, of course, this is the one that has the knockback on it. Whereas Bul-Kathos Tribal Guardian Mythical Sword seems like it's a fairly solid, like maybe a Zeal weapon or something like that. You know, with 120 to 150 damage, the spread on that is just beautiful. And it has increased attack speed. You know, the 200% enhanced damage is static. Poison damage not so great, but there's 20 to strength and 50 fire resist. So I mean, it's a decent little sword that could be plucked into a couple builds. Of course, you're not going to get any set bonuses from it, which sucks. Not really sure quite what to think of this. I mean, I guess if you were... Let's look at some skills here. I mean, a Frenzy Barbarian, it would kind of ruin Frenzy. Double Throw obviously isn't going to do anything for two-handed weapons. I mean, Bash already knocks people back, so I guess it would work well with a Bash build. I'm really not sure. I feel like they didn't put quite a lot of thought into the fact that it had knockback. Maybe they were like, oh, well, people will like knockback. But the fact of the matter is that when you're, you know, fighting other monsters and you're trying to, you know, to swing your sword, you're trying to deal your damage, you know, knockback ruins your damage per second. It causes you to lose track of the target for however many seconds until you have to run back to the target to hit them again. And it causes a space in between your attacks as a melee character. You know, whereas normally if you're a melee character, you know, you're like swing, 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 swing. Whereas if you're knockback, you swing, they get knocked back, you have to run to them. You swing again, they get knocked back, you have to run to them. So it's literally swing, run, swing, run, swing, run, swing, run. And you can see how this would negatively affect the amount of DPS that you would be able to put out. Now, of course, I have seen some people do some very interesting things with knockback builds, which is where you stand in the center of a bunch of monsters, and you essentially don't move. You hit one monster, knock him back, and then you go to the next one, hit him, knock him back, go to the next one, hit him, knock him back, go to the next one, hit him, knock him back. And the monster that you knock back does run back to you to try and attack you, so you're constantly just moving these targets away from you to help keep yourself alive. The problem with this, though, is that it only effectively works with melee characters or melee monsters which are trying to attack you in melee range. So any monster like a ranged character, you know, like a mage or something that's shooting spells at you, an archer, maybe a character who's not necessarily interested in coming up and fighting you one-on-one, like the vultures or the little spring leapers, you know, who come up and run away and come up and run away. The easiest way for me to explain it is think about the Fallen. Out in the Bloodmoor. When you kill one, they run away. So when you kill one and all the rest of them run away for a second, it makes killing them annoying because you have to chase down each one, and every time you kill one, they run away again. So essentially, as a knockback barbarian, you would be going into the fray of things, you would hit something, and it would just get knocked away from you, and you would have to chase it to kill it. It's a very awkward way of doing things. So not really quite sure why they decided to put knockback on that sword. Well, as always, I do have a link in the description down below where you can find my Magic Find video, as well as links to my Magic Find sources where you can actually figure out where to find these items. So if you are interested in finding either one of these swords, and or maybe you want to collect them, maybe you're you know, maybe you want to try them out just to see how knockback works. Maybe you're looking at that 200% damage to demons, and you want to stack it with some other cool damage to demons gear, and you want to make like a damage to demons or damage to undead barbarian that has like 7,000% extra damage to undead, and you walk up to an undead and you just gleam at them with your eye, and they just like disintegrate into a pile of ash. You know, maybe that's what you want to do. You know, take a look at that video. It'll teach you how to find these items, where they will drop, where they won't drop, etc. As always, thank you for watching, and keep watching.
Hey, he's a little bully. He's a little bully, aren't you? I think you little bullies.